Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. Be sure to watch until the end of this video and let's get right into it. So we will be talking a little bit about Cardano and VeChain as well in terms of the price action and movements and a little price prediction for you guys, also with Chainlink and the recent news and pumping. And then we're also going to kind of talk an intro with a little video I do want to show you before getting into additional XRP news and analysis. Remember, none of this is financial advice. Always do your own research. But from a macro perspective, I think that it's pretty obvious at this point where this market is going and which projects stand to have the most to gain in terms of appreciation. So right here, guys, I did see a few people sharing this on Twitter, Jack the Rippler, XRP Yo-Yo, and again, we can draw the parallels between XRP and Ripple and Amazon and their previous stock price. Pay close attention to this. This is CEO Jeff Bezos speaking, just a 40-second clip. If you've already seen it, go ahead and fast forward, but again, I thought this was really cool and analogous to what we're seeing today.
Most of those internet companies of the dot-com era are out of business.
Yeah.
You survived. What was that made you to survive, and virtually the rest of them are gone?
That whole period is very interesting because the stock is not the company, and the company is not the stock. And so as I watched the stock fall from 113 to 6, I was also watching all of our internal business metrics, number of customers, profit per unit, everything you can imagine, defects, etc. Every single thing about the business was getting better and fast. And so as the stock price was going the wrong way, everything inside the company was going the right way.
Most of those internet...
I think you guys can draw a lot of parallels and, similarities from what we're seeing, not only what we saw in the dot-com bubble, early 2000s with many companies, but what we're seeing in the cryptocurrency space with a lot of these crypto assets. One quick article before getting into additional XRP news. So the IRS wants to know more about privacy enhancing crypto coins and tools. Again, guys, I do not personally own any privacy tokens. I can absolutely see the value in doing so. I'm just potentially staying away due to multiple, obviously FUD campaigns, but even IRS warnings. So a few that they've singled out were Monero, Zcash, Dash, Grand, Komodo, Verge, Horizon, and then they even talk about some side chains like Omisego. So again, even OMG Omisego was recently added to Coinbase. I'm hoping that Coinbase obviously, vetted these types of tokens before adding them, and I'm going to kind of just look the other way and hope for the best. I do not own any of them. Even OMG from a TA perspective looks like it definitely has some upside in the future. So just wanted to get that news out there for any of you that do see value in holding privacy tokens. I completely respect that. I'm just letting you know I am not holding any at the moment. All right, so again, guys, we've shown this before. I'm going to tie it into the rest of the information in this video. Pay close attention. So I am Legion showing this, just PayPal, Zoom, Earthport, Visa. Why am I talking about Visa? Well, we've seen additional news and job postings for Visa. Again, recently saying we're seeking a strong developer experienced with Ethereum and blockchain architecture to be a part of the team tasked with building distributed applications. Our ideal candidate has built and released distributed applications. They have worked with Ripple, R3, Ethereum, and or Bitcoin blockchain and has experience with Solidity, again, the programming language for smart contracts. Well, why is this interesting? Well, we're seeing growth in all of these ecosystems. I saw King Solomon did a video, I think it was yesterday or a day or two ago, just kind of talking about Visa B2B Connect. And interestingly enough, guys, remember, he even showed Visa having the ability to scale to 65,000 plus transactions per second. Well, funny enough, showing on Ripple's website, specifically saying that XRP has the ability to scale, and it was a source to 65,000 plus TPS as of July 15th, 2019. And it does make sense that if you are going after certain customers or potentially working together towards a more distributed, system, you would want that same throughput and scalability as the existing technology, no? All right, now we know that centralized systems have the, higher throughput and scalability, but you can also understand the benefits, the pros and cons to staying with centralized systems rather than a distributed ecosystem. Now, centralized systems will still exist, they will still be fine, but we are going towards a level playing field, and there is going to be interoperability between data, all forms of information and value. So we just have to keep that in mind. Again, we have to consider huge groups like the Ariba network backed by Goldman Sachs, SAP, and as we know, SAP, obviously they've been involved with many groups, just like ATB, Respank, you name it. They've helped companies in the past specifically trial sending XRP, not just RippleNet. This is specifically sending XRP between groups rather than it taking a few days. They did it within seconds. Something to keep in mind, guys. Businesses care about cold hard math. King Solomon did this video and he was talking about Visa B2B Connect. We know that they're moving towards distributed systems. We're going to talk a little bit about Visa and obviously partnerships, connections to Earthport, Dwala, all of these groups. And this is clearly shaking the system and will continue to do so. King Solomon was showing businesses and governments make $120 trillion in payments globally for the purchase of goods and services, breaking it down from, card-based, cross-border, account receivables, account payables, you name it. So just something to keep in mind, guys. This is all related to Visa, B2B Connect. All right, now we can also talk about MasterCard, their relations to, R3 and many other groups. But let's just kind of tie in these screenshots here. So right here, I am Legion. We got PayPal, Zoom, Earthport, Visa. So PayPal, as we know, acquired Zoom for $800 million back in 2015. Well, funny enough, we know that Ripple has been a partner with, again, Earthport since 2015. So it's been roughly 5 years. Zoom is a digital money transfer or remittance provider that allows consumers to send money, pay bills, etc. As we can see here, PayPal launches Zoom across Europe, so now expanding the ecosystem. All right, and this was back in July 2019. We can see Earthport partners, and we know that Visa acquired them. We have Ripple named right here, no surprise. We have Zoom, and of course, we've talked about World Remit, Bank of America, TransferWise. All right, so let's keep going. Right here, you can see PayPal working with Skype and different app payments, kind of, again, focusing with Venmo as well. $8 billion. I mean, guys, the volume is there. The money is there. We can see the partnerships, the spread, etc. So PayPal blockchain ID. Now, what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about Luxembourg here. And this is something that a lot of the people in the community are well aware of. But again, right here, July 2019, PayPal-backed alliance for blockchain-based digital IDs begins beta testing. LuxTrust SA, a leading digital trust services provider in Luxembourg, and Cambridge Blockchain, a pioneer in digital identity enterprise software, announced the private beta testing phase for privacy-protecting European identity platforms. Now, in particular, guys, Luxembourg is a huge hub for fintechs, and I think that this has been going back for 5 years. So, for example, right here on Vimeo, we have Chris Larson, executive chairman of Ripple, discussing Luxembourg in particular. And again, this is like a, I don't know, probably, like a 3-minute video. I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to kind of go through a few points that I saw here. And again, it's funny because later this year, after this video was released, what came out? Interledger Protocol, again, bridging these payments. So in this video, he actually just says Ripple. He uses Ripple for all things. Again, just saying Ripple is the software of interoperability. Ripple created Interledger Protocol. Funny enough, it might not be XRP in every single central bank digital or, CBDC documents and central bank document and trial, but funny enough, you realize that ILP is there. We have other groups building on them and, at least furthering their ecosystem and reach. We have Hyperledger. I mean, it just goes very, very deep. And yes, Deloitte, you can talk about Ethereum. I am bullish on Ethereum. Some people, don't think so, but I absolutely think that will solve a problem and is already kind of held by many institutions. All right, so Chris, CEO and founder of Ripple, talking about this and talking about, expanding throughout Europe, Luxembourg in particular. And I believe he was, an advisor for some group out there too. He was also in various pictures with the prime minister. I mean, it's just not for fun. These people are well connected. So Luxembourg has a combination of a couple things, really important things. First of all, they're very up to speed on the pros and cons of new technology. They have a very smart approach to which technologies are going to be part of the future, which technologies need more time, and which technologies are not going to be constructive. We think Luxembourg does a great job of combining those 3 core domains you need for fintech. Now, he compares, obviously, the Internet of Value and the Internet of Information that we've already gone through, and he says, the Internet of Value is a lot more clunky. There's way more considerations we need to make, all right? And obviously, I think that we can agree with that. So obviously with capital and obviously with regulation and compliance, and again, very important not to lose, it says lose, typo, lose regulation, but regulation that is respected globally. I think what Luxembourg is, in some ways, it may be the perfect jurisdiction to keep a lot of different voices satisfied throughout the world. So where else are you going to find a place that is going to be accepted in Europe, the US, and China? That is a very, very big quote, guys. I think that we're going to have to refer back to this in the future. All right, let's keep going here. So I am Legion, back to this. And now as we go right here, PayPal and Visa bring instant transfers feature to Canada. No surprise, we can see this expansion. Obviously, it's very common. Fun fact, and then again, Interledger Protocol, they have an ILP plugin with PayPal. ILP settlements over PayPal, guys. You can see all of this on github.com. And again, you can see other groups as well. All right, we've talked about even Apple Pay. And you can also tie together other huge mobile networks like Alipay, as we often reference. But just keep this in mind, guys. There's many groups that are trialing, testing, and we're talking, anywhere from 2015 to now. I don't think that this is all just coincidental. And now that speculation can be dangerous if you speculate too much, get too much of a tinfoil hat. I just think that there is going to be a future for XRP. And obviously, you guys have to do your own research. You can completely disagree with me. Obviously, that is completely fine. Let's just be adults about it, though. All right, so we'll keep going. Another thing to note, guys, is even with, the recent news of, crypto assets, speculation, laws, regulations, the Digital Dollar Project, Chris Giancarlo, former CFTC chairman, he's an advisor for Ripple, all of these things. And now we're even seeing backed, not my favorite, group by any means, but the interest, institutional interest, volumes, they're rising. I can just smell a bull run. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know that I believe, and I've been saying this along with a few other people, that the bull run is already here and has been already here. With, even Chainlink, everyone's excited about the price. I just think it's ahead of the fractal. Yes, I see massive upside. Obviously, I did a huge video on my other channel, Kevin Cage Uncaged, talking about Chainlink and the connections. And I think they're absolutely there. I'm looking at the fundamentals, but also the charts help. And the community is there as well. But, no big deal. I expect, Link to easily be around $6.40 shortly. And that is, just the beginning. We're going to see these ups, sideways trending, consolidation, retrace, and then boom again. We're going to see higher highs. I don't know why so many people are surprised when their assets pump. We've literally been in, a good 2+ years of consolidation. All right, now we'll talk a little bit about, let's keep going here. So again, we got Phil Elazon 111 buy. So this is huge. Obviously, we see Currency Cloud recent partnership with Ripple. We can see their partnerships with Visa in particular. Now pay attention to this, and also Dwolla, no surprise. And yes, it's pronounced Dwolla. Per the CEO. And right here, guys, even with PayID, we know that Dwolla's partnered with them. People used to comment on videos that we'd release, and they said Dwolla has nothing to do with Ripple. Ripple's a scam, blah, blah, blah. Well, what do you know, guys? A couple years later of seeing that projects that Ripple and Dwolla had vested interests on, and they said it was full speculation. Well, now we can see Ripple created this whole PayID initiative. Their white paper is literally all Ripple and Spring contributors. By the way, this is Ripple's creation, PayID. And now they are connecting 100 million people with all of these groups. And again, guys, we are so early. I just need to emphasize that. So Dwolla, no surprise. So right here, we can see partnerships. Now Visa, why is this reminding me of Earthport? Well, we're looking and seeing these multi-currency words, just like we see on the Earthport's website. So Visa partnership will enable Visa clients and partners to offer innovative digital first travel payment solutions, including real-time notification, FX rates, and multi-currency wallets. All right, and again, using Currency Cloud's cloud-based payments platform to offer customers in-demand services. All right, better managing visibility, control. All right, very cool. And then Dwolla. So we were talking about ACH, guys. It's reminding me of Nacha. Again, this Nacha Alliance has had partnership with Ripple since like 2015, 2016. No surprise. They basically oversee the backbone of the entire electronic payments network of the United States with ACH. All right, so Dwolla's ACH payment API-enabled business. Again, single API, sounding just like RippleNet. And this is the future for many companies. It's not, whenever you see API enabled, it does not mean it's Ripple or XRP. I just wanted to share that obviously it's the same vernacular. All right, enables businesses to send local payments within the US via the ACH network. All right, it's my belief that, RippleNet has had the capability and is well connected, at least for messaging and overall their suite of software for quite some time. We can see FX rates, international payouts in 38 currencies to 180 countries. All right. Network of forward-thinking businesses the company created to better support its clients. Now we're going to show a little bit more about Currency Cloud. I'm sure many of you have already seen this, but I want to show you how forward-thinking even the company of Currency Cloud was. We're talking years ago, and they're naming Ripple as one of like the top 5 hottest companies. So let's check this out. And again, highly recommend just going to PayID and just kind of looking back at the founding members and seeing what we can find about them. Again, Flash FX, we have, former Rippler, Dilip Rao leaving, and now he's an advisor for them. And he's also retired. He said it's a relatively inactive role that doesn't demand too much of him. Got Global ID, again, Greg Kidd, PolySign, Signum. We've talked a lot about this. Hopefully you guys enjoy my stuttering. All right, so right here, guys, on XRParcade.com. This is a must-go-to website. Obviously, it's really, really good. It has a bunch of information, links, sources, etc. And again, this is all built by Leonidas, so we thank him in the XRP community for providing such great information. So we know Currency Cloud, helping with, SMEs, these small, medium enterprises with RippleNet, obviously improving efficient money flow. We don't have to read everything here. But again, they're focusing on smaller territories, underrepresented, ensuring clients are going to be able to process local payouts. All right, we can kind of see the same narrative. We know that obviously RippleNet has been pushing cloud, all the things that we already know. Now, this is pretty cool too. So, long overdue, London-based Currency Cloud, founded in 2012, has had its eye on Ripple ever since as early as 2014. This is an old tweet. You can click the tweet. It can go right to Twitter. And again, it says, our CEO named Ripple as one of the 5 hot fintech innovations. Again, fintech, financial technology, you need to know about back in October last year. Very, very cool. Now, fun fact, I think even Crypto Eddie emphasized this, that Currency Cloud, they completed obviously the Series E funding, and I think all the way, so raising, $80 million. And now this was also from obviously partners like Visa. We can tie them with Earthport. We can look at all these partners for Currency Cloud, guys. The World Bank's Group's International Finance Corporation, and we even know like specifically the World Bank has praised, again, the software, the service, XRP, now it is on-demand liquidity. They praised this in 2017, calling the utilization of XRP an innovative technology. All right, BNP Paribas, we've talked about them. I Am Legion blogs on coil.com cover this extensively, the connections, because obviously a lot of people at first sight would say this has nothing to do with Ripple. All right, and then SBI Group, again, one of the biggest shareholders of Ripple and R3. So they've already contributed this back in, I believe, January. And look, Thailand's SCB. I don't even need to go into depth and detail about them. This is all connected to Ripple, guys. This isn't even my bias. This is just basic information right in front of you. All right, SBI is Ripple's biggest investor, promoting both Ripple and XRP. Talking about the application MoneyTap. All right, SCB, one of the oldest banks, or Thailand's oldest bank, recently launched new services on RippleNet. All right, all right in front of you. Now, right here, something to pay attention to is this. Currency Cloud has 85 different APIs across 4 modules: collect, convert, pay, and manage. You can see the entire workflow and business-to-business cross-border payments. Now, look at this, additional funding. So we can see Goldman Sachs. Well, many of the existing RippleNet partners and banks we see today are backed by Goldman Sachs. Like the majority of the 300, 350 customers, even 400 customers that have been named of Ripple, are backed by investments of Goldman Sachs. All right. Now we can also see Visa again. We can see the same groups we've already named. Just something to keep an eye on, guys. That is all. Even Banco Santander. Pay attention. Currency Cloud has processed a total of $50 billion up until 2019 across 180 countries. All right. Now let's finish up this video talking a little bit about the charts and kind of what I'm seeing in particular. So again, guys, we know per the last video I believe I covered, we were talking about, VeChain moving a little ahead of Cardano. We know that Link and XTZ, Tezos used to kind of roll together and, at least rhyme, but now it seems that they're very, very different. And obviously Link has just kind of moved and there's, it's going to new highs where it's never been before. And XTZ, Tezos, great project in my opinion. It simply just isn't doing it. It's suppressed. And the holders of Tezos, I'd imagine, are just as, frustrated as many XRP holders if you're 100% in those assets. So at the time of recording this video, guys, we're with VeChain, we're at 0.016. I think that it's safe to assume, maybe we could see a wick or a little candle close closer. I'm just looking at the 1 week just to kind of get a better macro view of everything, looking at these R3 pivots. We did see that VeChain kind of broke through very little resistance all the way up until maybe this 0.018 region. We'll see if we can kind of tap that and kind of come back down and tap and retrace a little bit for the time being, consolidate before pushing up higher. I think that ADA, safe to assume, according to even Mr. Level Up, obviously this bull run has been here for quite some time. You're just starting to notice in some of these tier 2 and tier 1 coins and projects, people think that it has to do with hype. They think it has to do with the news, but in reality, a lot of these projects have just been following a simple fractal. And I know people don't kind of think that. They think that news and fundamentals governs the price fluctuations of these asset classes. But I think that you're going to start learning in the future that may have been the case back in the day, but I think it is obviously changing. We're in an evolving world. We have information at our fingertips, and you're going to have to think a little differently than the masses to get ahead. All right, so I do believe, and I will be taking profit for ADA, at least a short-term bag that I'm trading around that 13-cent mark. Not financial advice. This is just what one man is doing. And I would be looking, we could blast right through all the way to 14 cents or even all the way up. I hope it doesn't do that because I want to maximize my profit potential. But I'd be looking into getting maybe back into H-bar since we're around that 4 cents region. We did that retrace, and I think that will be approaching, 6 cents to 8 cents in the coming weeks as well. So remember, Mr. Level Up showed this, guys. Again, none of us know exactly how this is going to happen, but if you look at coins like Digibyte, they've been leading the way with this pattern, and XRP is still good. It's primed to move. I mean, even let me just kind of, hopefully I don't have any TA here. Let me go to XRP really quick. I mean, again, guys, just from even like basic fib setup, it really does look like we're going to blast right to like, 25 cents. But the funny thing is this. Every time I say anything like that with the price prediction for XRP, I mean, we could come back down to that, 17 tap, and go. I think that we're looking at, 25 cent move, 28 cents. And then once we move and officially break that region right here, that 34 cent mark, I think it is game on for this bull run. All right. It's been a long time in the, in the works. We have not been to all-time highs since approximately, give or take the first week of January of 2018. So we are looking, it's been 2.5 years of those that have been accumulating, buying down. I know some of us were lucky and obviously were able to see XRP during that pre-bull run, maybe, under 10 cents, 17 cents, or even half a penny if you were lucky to do so. During those times though, XRP wasn't on Coinbase or Binance, and the barrier to entry was a lot harder. So I think we can agree, nobody knows exactly how they're going to move, when they're going to move. Timing is a whole nother monster, but I think that we can agree that the bull run is coming. I am obviously, you guys know this, I am not the biggest believer in terms of the fundamentals of Bitcoin and proof of work for consensus, but provided regulation doesn't come in and smash Bitcoin, it looks like Bitcoin, whether it takes 6 months, 3 months, or who knows how many weeks, I think that Bitcoin has a good chance of reaching, again, close to that all-time high, or even $18,000 per BTC. Question is, what will it do to XRP? Will XRP kind of follow the same fractal and go towards all-time high and then finally go to like $10? We will simply see. I just think that we are in the suppressed asset classes. I think provided that you are looking at additional, revenues, or avenues, I should say, of investing rather than just stock markets, mutual funds. Look at these crypto assets that are getting adoption and backing by companies in terms of billions of dollars. Look at the precious metals. These are the asset classes that have been suppressed for, and experiencing a multi-year bear market. Instead of going after certain stocks that might have upside, I'm looking at true generational wealth, all right? None of this is financial advice. I think that if you guys have watched, the 450 plus videos I've done on this channel, you'd definitely be open to the fact that crypto assets do solve a real purpose. Not all of them do, but there are a handful that will and do. And I think that they're going to be a part of this new financial system, whether it is just to ease, friction of payments, whether it is to get, utilize smart contracts in a better way for trust, or to get, decentralized information without, manipulation and bias. It is simply a matter of time. All right. So let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Do you think that, ADA has a chance of going to that 13 cent, 14 cent mark? Or do you think it's going to be a complete psych out and do a big retrace again? All right. Like this video if you like what you see. Again, shout out to my top channel members. Appreciate you guys for all the support as always. Be More, 1113, Lunar Phoenix, Jamie XRP, Crypto Beginner, Ken Melendez, XRP Holder 4, and XRP Life. Appreciate all of you that like this video. Share it around. And until next time, thanks.